you got all those. We're going to have a look at the text, and you're going to tell me where you found an example of that in your text, okay? If you've got a simple text, not everything is in there, but some of it will be, but you just find what you can find, okay? So, what is a rhetorical question? Both texts had rhetorical questions, didn't they? So, who found the rhetorical question? Yes. Yep, surely.
Surely you cannot deny
Them that. So the end of the third paragraph. Surely you cannot deny them that. Is that same in both of them?
No.
No. What's in the? Where is it? Where is it in the other one?
At the
Bottom of the fourth paragraph. Oh yes. How could you deny them that? So that's a rhetorical question as well. Any more? Any more examples? No, right, let's move on to the next one. We're not going to spend ages on this. Formal style. Now, we had a chat, didn't we, just a second ago about the, now I can't find it, we found subjunctive, didn't we? Is that what you were going to say? So, in the second paragraph, it's the physician, Enid Davison, stating that if a child were to stay, so by using the subjunctive, it makes it more formal as well. So that's an example of how you make it formal. What other words and phrases did we find that would make the text feel more formal? What did you find in your one? Can you remember what word we found? Mother rather than saying mum. Any more? You're going to say mother rather than mum as well. I think sometimes when you're looking at formal and informal, it's not one thing. It's all the things, isn't it? It's having everything in place that makes it sound more formal. So formal sometimes say a bit more posh, but it's just the way you structure your sentences, like using subjunctive. You might be able to get passive in there a bit more, but actually because it's a persuasive text, it might not be appropriate, but that sometimes is evidence of formal language and making it a more formal text. I mean, albeit temporarily, that sounds quite formal, doesn't it? Persuasive sentence starters. It is vital is one of them. Any more? Persuasive sentence starters. Anyone find any of those? I was just looking. In addition, it is safe to assume. That one? Yeah, did you find one?
It is vital.
Yeah, it is vital. Any different ones for those sentence starters?
No.
Yeah. Furthermore, it could be, yeah, definitely. It's probably an example of more than one thing. Some things are more than one, aren't they?
Yes, while it is important.
While it is important. Yes, I was wondering about one. While it is important to acknowledge. I mean, even that whole phrase, while it is important to acknowledge, that is also the formality, showing how formal it is, the way the word sentence is worded. Yeah.
Would in summary be right?
In summary, yes. Yes, they're also, if you look in your writing journals, the guys at school, they are also examples of sort of connectives, so used between your paragraphs to link your paragraphs together as well, aren't they? Quotes and experts. So you've got the quote from Peter, haven't we? And also in the other one, you've got the quote from the physician, the children's physician, Enid Davison. Now notice they haven't quoted anyone who disagrees with them, have they? It's not a balanced argument, it's persuasive. You only quote what's going to benefit you, yeah? You're not going to tell your mum, actually, iPhones are really bad for your eyes, so you shouldn't have them. You're only going to tell your mum that you have to need one. Next one. Statistics. What do we all say? Statistics is data. So 82% safer. You know, we've looked into this. That's what percentage safer you're going to be in the countryside. Imperative and modal verbs. Any shoulds, woulds, might, musts. Yeah, do you find some?
I found some will.
Will, yeah, will's one, isn't it? Will, yeah. You will. One should recognise the more pressing fear of death and destruction we now face. That's just the top of the second paragraph. You will by now have received. Any more? I mean, there's probably loads in there, isn't there, as we look through there. So I'm sure you found lots more. Let's quickly move on to the next one. Para 3. Who can find that para 3? Yeah, so end of the first paragraph, we believe to be dangerous, uncertain and grim. Almost, they're synonyms really, aren't they? They almost mean the same thing, but they're using three of them to make it more powerful, to be more persuasive. Exaggerated language. Now actually, some of these words here, this is almost exaggerated language, isn't it? Perilous, it's vital, it's crucial. You know, those words, perilous, vital, crucial, I would say definitely are exaggerated language. And the last one, opinions as facts. This is quite hard one sometimes to identify because the way they're written, they're made to sound like facts, aren't they? But are they? Can they prove them, I suppose? What did you think?
Enid David has
Stated, yeah. Enid Davidson has stated that. So they're saying what this physician, this children's physician, they're saying what she's told them is a fact, but actually it might not be a fact, it might just be what she thinks. I mean, if it's an actual fact, how can she prove? How can she prove that it would be worse for the children to stay and witness loss than it would be to go and be homesick and separated? I mean, it probably is very true, but she's stating her opinion as a fact. She can't prove it, can she? Okay. So later on in tomorrow's lesson, we are going to put these features onto our success criteria, and we're going to talk about the effect they have on the reader. Why do we use them? So that's what you need to be thinking about as well. Fantastic job.